Hello, everybody. It's Erica. So I want to talk today about a very hot button topic, and it has to do with men showing vulnerability. Is showing vulnerability weakness, or is it something that's good? And this was spurred on by a number of recent client sessions I had, and I just wanted to come on and do a quick video here about this. Now, granted, this is a topic that is many layers, many aspects. To it, and I'm going to try to do it in a short video here. But how many times have you heard a woman say, oh, if he would only just be vulnerable, if he would show vulnerability, that would be so great. And then the man shows vulnerability or emotion, and then the woman's like, oh, turn off. Ew, I thought I wanted vulnerability, but that's not attractive. Why is that? Right? Why is that happening? Well, there's a couple of reasons. I'm going to talk about the two factors that influence whether a man opening his heart and showing vulnerability can be a turnoff at times, and when it's one of those things, when it's actually the exact opposite, where it further confirms and bonds the two people together. Now, there's two factors that influence this. Well, there's more, but I'm going to boil it down to two for the sake of simplicity in this video. Number one is, as a man, when you are doing this, are you in your power? Do you embody your full power? Or are you in a place of showing vulnerability from your distortion, from your shadow, from your inner child, right? There is a time when people get emotional, whether you're man or woman. I'm going to use the terms masculine and feminine in this video, though. But when people are showing emotion or opening up about fears or uncertainties, when they are in a frenzy, when they are in fear, where they are in a feeling of powerlessness, that is more of an expression of emotions from the distortion energy, the distorted energies. I don't want to label them distorted masculine, feminine, but I'm trying to keep it simple here. But whereas if someone's in their power and they're centered and they are sharing things that they are nervous about, concerned about, unsure about with somebody, it's a very different experience, right? It's the, oh my God, life is crap. I'm overwhelmed. Here's the emotions coming out. Versus when you're in your power and you share it and you're doing it from a place of balance, it's a completely different energy. So the second factor depends on who you're doing this with, right? The divine masculine, when he's in his power, does not and should not share his heart or emotions or open up vulnerably to those that haven't done their level of work. I dare even say that if someone really is the divine masculine, he will have the discernment to know who it is safe to do this with and who it isn't. It's the distorted masculine who hasn't come into his power, who might try it out on the wrong people and then get slapped with this, ew, I don't want that. That's unattractive. I don't want him opening up to me. That's a turnoff. So the divine masculine who's in his power will have the discernment, or should have the discernment, I should say, to, and maybe he'll make some mistakes and go, oh, crap, I shouldn't have done that with that person. Okay, mental note, won't do that again. But part of the challenge for the divine masculine is that he has not encountered the divine feminine in relationship yet. As a collective, we're moving into more of these sacred, true love partnerships that are based in two people that have done a lot of their inner work, that are not living codependent relationship patterns, that are not operating from their shadow energies 95% of the time. And so because of this, there's this point where the masculine hasn't experienced what it's like to open his heart to the sacred feminine. He has correctly kept his heart closed to the distorted feminine. That is correct, because he cannot give his energy, or it's a way that he loses his power if he gives it to the distorted feminine. But to the sacred feminine, when the sacred feminine holds the space for the masculine to open his heart to her, it is healing for both of them. Because on the other side, for the feminine to trust the masculine. She doesn't just give herself to just any old masculine. When someone is embodying divine, sacred, feminine energy, and she has done a lot of work, she's not living in her distortions or codependent patterns. She's not just going to open her heart to just anybody. She is going to be very discerning with who she feels safe to fully surrender to. And so, whereas the feminine energy is this energy of movement, flow, nurturing, creation, she only can embody the fullness of that in the presence of the divine masculine. He's sort of the protector. He is the one that, because he's protecting her, he allows her to be in her fullness. But both the divine masculine and the divine feminine at this time likely have not experienced, as a collective, there are people that have experienced this, what it's like to be received and seen with an open heart by their divine partner. And when they do this, it is a dramatically different experience. Just like when the divine feminine surrenders to the masculine because he is trustworthy to her, because he has shown her that he is worthy of protecting her energy and her space. Because the feminine, it's like she's got a side eye on everybody that she meets, where she's looking at them going, no, I'm not seeing authenticity there. I'm not seeing power. I'm seeing, it's something that she can sniff out very easily. So she doesn't just open up and give her heart to just any old masculine either. So both the masculine and the feminine are going to have to, at some point, try it out, right? Try opening the heart, seeing how you are received. Because that's hard for both the masculine and the feminine to do. The feminine is guarded as well because she's been burned and hurt by people that she's maybe given her heart to before, and they weren't in their power, they weren't in their light, and neither was she if she did that. But when she is in her light, she is yet to experience the masculine in his power, and vice versa. So, you know, if you are in a partnership or in the beginning stages of a partnership with somebody, and it comes to a point where, you know, maybe you're dealing with something and you want to open up a little bit, just ask yourself first, are you doing this from a place of balance, centeredness, and power, and honesty and authenticity? Or are you doing it from a place of fear? That was something that my guides showed me, actually. That was really an important distinction. Is vulnerability, they made this distinction very clearly. Vulnerability does not equal spewing of emotions. Vulnerability equals authenticity. It is authentic to be in a place where you're like, I'm good, and this is what I'm not sure about. I'm good, I'm centered, but this is what is weighing on my heart. Very different from just the emotions, right? So if we can reframe the concept of vulnerability out of a sense of weakness, or I got to drop my guard, instead reframe it as authenticity and try that one on and see how that feels. So again, this is a concept that's very complex and very intricate when it comes to the dance between the divine masculine, divine feminine, men, women. And remember, guys, this stuff is not gender specific, it's energy specific. Okay. You could be any gender and embody masculine energy primarily, or feminine energy, but we all both exhibit and live masculine and feminine energy regardless of of gender. So I just want to make that clear. Because I always assume that like people know that, but sometimes they don't. So I just want to make sure I reiterate that here on this video. But so I hope that helps to understand maybe why you've gotten the reactions you've gotten in the past. So number one is, am I in my power? Number two is, who am I opening up my heart to? Those are the two main questions to ask yourself before you decide to share your heart. because that will really determine the way that you are received. And I got to tell you, when the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine, who are very discerning, finally trust, give it a shot to open up to the other after being deemed somewhat like it's safe to do this, there's nothing like it. So I hope that this helps. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And until next time, bye.